Katie, and this is my review of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I read Throne of Glass last month, and I could not wait to pick this book up. I ran to my bookstore, but they were sold out of it, so I had to order it from Amazon, and the day came, I started reading it. I was in the middle of reading another book, but I put it down and picked this up right away. So I can't do very much of a no-spoiler review since this is the second book in the series, but this continues following Selena and Dorian and Kale and her story of being an assassin. If you haven't read the first one, I definitely recommend picking that up and then starting this one right away. That is it for no spoilers since this is the second book in the series, so if you haven't read it yet, turn off the video now. Alright, let's get into spoiler talk because this book I thought was even better than the first one. I loved the first one, but this one had so much more depth in the story and way more Kale, which I absolutely loved. In this book, I really loved the Selena and Kale relationship. I loved their growing relationship, and I loved that their romance was such a slow burn. Sometimes I feel in books like they get to the point so fast that like you can't really root for them because they were already together. But this book is not like that. The whole like, I don't know, like 3/4 of the book you're just like, come on, kiss already. And then when they finally get together, it was so rewarding. Not for very long, but still rewarding. Some of my favorite scenes, I loved when Selena was at the party with Archer and she was going through that one guy's, I think Davis's room, and he came in and he cut her with the Gloriella, and I just thought the end of that chapter, it was such a cliffhanger. I had to go do something, so I couldn't read the next one right away, so I was just wondering the whole time, like, what is going to happen? And when she got to Kale's room and he helped her, I thought that was such a great part of the book. I was at the edge of my seat. I just needed to know what happened, so I loved that part. I also loved the whole, like, twist. I figured that she wasn't really killing the people the king was telling her to, but I loved that she wasn't and her little trick she was doing, and we find that out right away, so we're not like mad at Selena, like why are you doing this, which I really liked. I also, through the whole book, well, when she was still alive, her friendship with Nehemiah, I was always wondering, is Nehemiah good? Is like she keeping a secret? You know, what's going on with her? I thought something's up with her. So then a few chapters before she got killed, I was thinking, I think she's gonna die. And I was thinking that kind of because I think the back of the book had a big spoiler on this that kind of made me think that. So that was kind of a bummer, but I was excited that I guessed right, I guess. Yeah, that was a really big mystery, and with Grave coming back from the first book, I thought that was a great tie-in. I just loved how there's parts from the first book that are still in the second book, you know, so it has an overarching thing, not just each book its own story, which I really loved. Another thing I really loved in this book was Mort. I thought he brought in some humor. The book doesn't have a ton of humor. There is some humor in their dialogue between Kale and Dorian and Selena, you know, they're kind of sassy. I like that humor, but Mort was a nice dose of humor. He kind of reminded me of like a Peeves. You know, just kind of sarcastic and not really wanting to work with you. He's not bad, he's not good, you know. He's just there, and he's funny, so I really like that. And I'm curious now, was he mentioned in the first book as like a knocker on the door? So I really want to go back and check that. I also was really, I don't want to say totally thrown off by Archer, but I was thinking, you know, I really like Archer. He was kind of reminding me of like a Finnick. You know, like being used because he's so handsome and, you know, real charismatic. So I was thinking of him like a Finnick. Well, no, he's not. He kind of sucks in the end, but, you know, I'm thinking that did really throw me, especially in the scene where they captured Kale and then he took the arrow for Selena, you know, that really threw me. So I really liked that mystery in the end, and I really want to find out what this group Nehemiah is kind of working with against the king, what all that is about. So I think that's a really good hook to get into the next book. Another thing we learned a lot in this book is the word keys. We learn a lot about the word keys from Baba Yellowlegs, who was super, super creepy, and her story's kind of left hanging. You know, who did she tell what Dorian asked? That has to be a big deal in the end since Dorian has magic now. And what is going to happen with Selena now that she killed one of these witches? And she gave us a lot of information about the word keys, which I'm kind of curious, like, what do they look like? I was thinking, I wonder if like the clock hands in that tower are the word keys or something, because I'm guessing the king has two. I know they said he for sure has one, but I'm thinking two. Because he seems pretty powerful, all that, you know, him and, oh, I forget his one advisor's name now, but that one guy and Catelyn and then Roland, they seem like they're really controlling them, so I'm curious about all that. Another small part of this, just kind of thrown in, I feel like for reader's sake that I loved is I love that Selena is such a reader. She mentions with the money that she gets from the king for being his assassin, she goes out and she buys all these clothes and all these books, so many books that she needs to get a new bookcase, which is something that I think a lot of people making and watching these videos can relate to because we have so many books. So it's great to find a character that loves reading as much as you do, which I'm Team Caleb, but I love that about Dorian. He's such a reader. I loved that his like little tower apartment was just messy and books everywhere. So that really makes me warm up to Dorian a bit. So as I am Team Kale, I still like Dorian a lot. So let me know your thoughts on this book. Did you like it more than the first one? Did you like the third one more? Because that's on my TBR list. I bought it. I'm excited to read it. So let me know what you thought. Thanks for watching. Bye!